a certain amount of time where we could look however we want. Okay, so here we go. Every morning, I look at my reflection in the mirror and ask myself what it's like to be pretty. I trace my face for every flaw and imperfection life has bestowed upon me. What a travesty. I am not yet skinny enough. I am not yet curvy enough. I am forever stuck in that awkward stage that everyone wants to grow out of. Unfortunately, I never did. It stuck with me, and I always wondered to myself what it's like to be pretty, to have people falling to their knees when they caught sight of me, to be deemed favorable. I wanted so much to be desirable. How was I going to do it? Simple. Pretty minutes. The easiest way to become your own personal definition of perfection. No makeup, no surgery, no delicate process, just choices, and of course, payment. Pretty minutes are not free by any means. Time is money after all. You get what you pay for. A face free of blemishes, crystal blue eyes, smooth skin, soft hair, whatever you want for however long you want. I saved up my money since I first found out about it. I knew exactly how I was going to use it and what I was going to use it for. I had known him since high school, and he had given me the most attention anyone could ever give. By attention, I mean endless bullying. He would always go out of his way to push me into lockers, to question my appearance. No one else saw it that way, though. They always told me that I should be grateful for this boy even looking at me. They always said he was just joking. They always questioned why I was so butthurt about it all. High school was full of imbeciles, so I didn't expect them to understand. I thought I escaped the hellhole once I graduated, but I was wrong. Everyone was shallow, and the world was unforgiving. It almost didn't surprise me when I got stuck in the same office as him. You would think 4 years of college would change a man. It didn't, not one bit. He continued fucking with me as soon as he saw me. I couldn't catch a break, could I? So I had a plan. He was such a ladies' man who couldn't resist a good-looking woman. In high school, all of the girls fell for him. He only took the pretty ones, though. And I knew exactly what kind of girl he liked. That's what I was going to use pretty minutes for. Destroy him with beauty and take the revenge I so rightfully deserved. The timing had to be perfect. One evening, I overheard him and a couple of coworkers chatting about going to the bar. It was a Tuesday night, so there was nothing better for them to do. When I found out, I decided to execute my plan. Once we all exited the office, I went straight to my car without a word. I pulled out my phone and went into the Pretty Minutes app. I had already chosen everything I wanted: blonde hair that reached the small of my back, eyes as green as emeralds, perfect milk-white skin, and the right equipment. Yes, Pretty Minutes goes as far as changing your junk. Granted, it's more expensive than just a change of hair color, but the result is worth it, albeit temporary. Everything is temporary. That's why Pretty Minutes exist. Your perfect skin is bound to break out. Your luscious locks are prone to splitting. My fellow 20-somethings' foreheads have even started wrinkling. Eventually, we all grow old and become worn. Radiant youth doesn't last forever, so why not take the opportunity? I pressed checkout, made my payment, and in a matter of seconds, I was looking like the most beautiful bitch that asshole would ever see. In the back seat, I kept a black party dress, tights, and stilettos just in case this time would come. After I made my purchase through the app, I changed out of my drab work clothes into the more flattering ensemble. Just as I was changing, I saw him and the other guys pulling out of the lot. I started up my car and followed them out. They were going to the bar that everyone went to on Tuesday nights, half-off drinks. Who would pass up on that? I'd been there a few times myself, but never ran into anyone at the office. This would be the first time. They wouldn't know it was me, though. Once I parked my car, I saw him meet up with the other guys at the bar entrance. They went in without any trouble from the bouncer. I hoped I had the same luck. I did not go as far as to obtain a fake ID for this change. I walked out of the car and locked it behind me. Taking a deep breath, I looked straight ahead, keeping my chin up. As I neared the doors, the bouncer's eyes widened and he set his gaze on me. I couldn't help but smirk. I knew that look all too well. And I felt sexy. Strutting inside, I found him and his friends ordering drinks from the bar. The place was almost packed, save a few empty seats here and there. As I made my way to get a drink, I got some glances from the patrons. Thirsty men and envious women, all of them. It didn't take too long for him to notice me. While I was sipping on Bacardi, he made his way towards me. We immediately hit it off. The only thing I was nervous about was my voice, but he didn't say a thing about it. He was almost as deaf as he was blind. This was way too easy. Throughout the evening, he bragged about himself and his high school glory days, how he was the one everybody wanted, how he was so much better than everyone else. He talked about me. He talked about how he still had to deal with me now. I played it off as though he was hot shit. What a piece of shit. He took me to his car and we proceeded in the back seat. He was making this way too easy for me. He needed to die. Outside, he was so beautiful, but on the inside, he was truly hideous. How could such a shallow person look so beautiful? It never made sense to me how people with such awful personalities were given insurmountable beauty. It made me sick. I kissed him fiercely, and he kissed right back. Glancing at his watch, I saw that I had only 2 pretty minutes left. Pushing him down on his back, I whispered into his ear. I took off his tie and skillfully tied his hands together with it. Guess what time it is? I grabbed him by the neck with both of my hands, slowly choking him. He couldn't break free. My timing was perfect. As the color faded from his face, I changed back, and that look of terror in his last moments was all I needed.
All right, so next I'll ask Kiria to come forward.